All right, welcome back, Pokemon Go players, to another episode of
You heard it here first.
Yes, welcome back to another episode of the Purified podcast, where we messed up intros, and that's how we do things. Today is September 24th, 2022. I am your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris.
Hey, it's your boy, Pokemon Trigger, please. And we are back at again, a little bit later than normal. But, I had a little bit of stuff to do over the week. But,
bro, he got a
we're
lot.
Here on a Saturday.
I'm not going to say nothing about what happened in the last few days because, god damn it. We'll be ready to talk about it when we're ready to talk about that one.
Sounds good.
But yeah, definitely. It's been the reason why we're a little bit late. Just Chris, like you mentioned, he has some things going on, so we had to push the podcast to the weekend. Usually, our usual timelines is the weekend for live streams, but we had to move things around because of his work. So I'm working around it, as always. But we're here once again to talk about Pokemon Go news, updates, and ranting about the game because we love the game just as much as you do. Don't forget that we are part of the Professor Network. Check out professornetwork.com/Purified Podcast. If you are wanting to listen to more podcasts out there, they have three wonderful podcasts: Lowered Up, Special Conditions, and the Wayfarer Podcast, which, to be told, they actually have some really good things that they work on. So check us out. Check them out. Don't forget to do that. All right, brother. It's been a little over a week since we talked. A lot going on, definitely. Not just Pokemon Go, but life itself. What you got for me? Like, what has been going on with you, brother?
Well. I'll start with the less exciting stuff. I did actually get some shinies this week, which was cool. I don't think I got any hundos. Yeah, no hundos. Unless, like, you count... I did get some high IV shadows. Actually, another Charmander that will go hundo if I purified it. I'm not going to purify it, though. Since I already purified the other one. I think we both have like 5 Hondo Charmanders / Charizards now.
Yeah.
So like there isn't a point, at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned this last podcast. No, because this wouldn't have been a part of it. But yeah, I'll start from the beginning. On the 15th, I got a shiny Togepi. And we always joke about how I still haven't gotten a shiny Pichu, and everybody else hatches it.
Yeah.
I hatch every other shiny.
Mm-hmm.
I only got one shiny from Com Day. One rock that rolled, which was fine with me. I just wanted one more anyways. And I got a new shiny. I got a shiny Glameow. Very happy about that.
Bro, that's actually cool.
I've been clicking on that cat forever, man.
Yeah, no, I know, right?
It's horrible.
I with the guy, thank you for joining us. He says, listen, Niantic, I walk 5 kilometers today, no shiny. I'm upset. Okay, well.
Yeah, what the heck? What about us free-to-players?
Bro, I know, right?
And then I was able to get a shiny Bellsprout while I was in a McDonald's parking lot.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
Bro,
and then literally today, this morning, I got a shiny Magikarp. So, he's always a fun one to get because, you're never expecting a shiny usually.
Right.
And that's pretty much all I got after going to Universal and Disney. That's where I was at for Wednesday and Thursday. One of my friends... was nice enough to hook me up with the good pricing at Halloween Horror Nights because he actually works for Universal. And I brought Julie along this time, and I actually popped the question at Halloween Horror Nights, and she said yes.
Round of applause for my man. A round of applause for my man here, getting engaged.
Yeah,
congratulations.
I got the real catch.
Yeah, you got really you have one hell of a catch for sure. Yes.
I'm
but yeah,
I'm really happy about that. But I want to hear all about your catches and everything.
I can
enough about me.
I can tell you this much: that it's not as been as exciting as you do, but I have some
Oh,
interesting ones. As for shinies, let's actually check the shiny count because I don't even know
I
if I
know
got
you
them.
got Hondos though.
Nah. Well, actually, okay. So technically, if we're counting community day, since yeah, it's been what, a week?
Oh
Yeah, it's
yeah.
been, yeah. If we're counting community day, I did get 18 shinies from the community day, so I'm okay with that. And I played most of the day. I did get my 2 hundos, so I'm okay with that. But overall, any other handles aside from those? No, I didn't get anything. So, 2 hundo Rogan Rollas, one of them, one of them was from the research, so I was actually happy. It could have been a Shando.
Ooh.
That would have been nice, but of course, many of my RNGs like that. I did get some interesting PvP Pokemons the last, actually today. Like, I don't know what the heck was going on. I got a Dedenne that's a 0, 14, 15. It's like rank 20 something in the Great League. Level 1 though, so
Yo,
it's gonna power up eventually. I
that's
kept
a
up the
wild
Viper
one.
just in case, but the one that I actually am more proud of getting today, and if I can scroll down fast enough, I guess, it's actually this rank 1 Masharna for Great League. I was like, what the
Bro,
fudge? I was like, okay, well, limited metas right there, brother. Like, I that's all I gotta do. You gotta just keep an eye on
you
those
know,
PvP Pokemons.
that's such an out there one too, because at least I don't know the moveset of it, you know?
Yeah, it's just one of those things and the psychic things and everything. So I can't wait to see the podcast live stream on the waiting. Yeah, actually, I'm thinking of that now.
Wedding.
Oh, brothers. That'll be interesting. But yeah, congratulations, Chris, once again. Like literally, my excitement is not as much as your excitement. You actually got the winner prize on this one. So this week you win on everything. Like that's all you gotta say on that. Yeah, we better be there. Yeah, no, definitely. I'll definitely get a live stream ready for you guys. Don't worry. It's gonna be a real life live stream, Pokemon Go edition. You know, wedding Pokemon Go
Taco Bell
edition.
edition.
We'll see how it goes. Definitely. But yeah, that's definitely. So we got a couple of things that actually happened since we last talked. We finished up the I don't know, the steel event. I don't know if that's actually what we call it. Another steel or metal event or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Test your metal. Okay, test your metal. That was the call. And then we had, of
Yeah.
course, community day. I'm sorry, Chris doesn't have that much to go about community day because he only got the one shiny. He was at work until the end. I did play. It was exciting. I actually saw a couple of people playing this community day, so I guess it's a good shiny if you think about it.
Yeah. Top tier.
If we go to Goliath, after you tap on it, he lights up, and I'm just like, bro, that's actually sweet colors. I like that. I like that. I like that.
Like,
Yeah, shiny
does
guy.
the normal one do that?
Yes, but the colors is a better with the shiny ones, just because the light up of it is actually a little bit better. So
Oh, hands down.
yeah, yeah. So in the end of the day, not much to go about Kobe today, aside from just playing this game, just intended to be. I am getting raids from everybody today for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Now, test your metal steel type event. It was actually kind of nice. I was quite hunting for a lot of the Pokemons out there, so but I didn't get anything regarding. I think my best one was a 98 Beldum. Aside from that, I don't think I even got any other shinies. I was trying to, hash the Riolu, but of course, nothing. I mean, I hatched a couple of Riolus, but I didn't actually get the shiny or even the Hundo. Like, that's my goal, of course.
My offer still stands. Shiny Rylu for one of the shinies you got that I don't have. I think there was a Inkay. I
Oh
think
yeah,
Inkay.
yeah.
It's pretty good.
Well, we gotta get Lucky Friends.
If we ever hit
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I've been getting quite a bit of Lucky Friends in the last few days, so it's been kind of
Hey,
interesting. I've been doing a
we'll hit lucky friends after this raid. It's okay.
yeah. We'll get to that. But yeah, so again, nothing much to go on about that. Once the event ended, so test your metal still at the event. A lot of different things happening. Chris, what's your rating on that now that we have full confirmation?
I would actually give it a really high rating because Steel type is one of the most OP. We had really fun raid bosses, especially since we had two. one of which, we weren't really able to raid at our leisure.
Mm-hmm.
It had a 200,000 weight line at one point, Celesteela.
Yeah.
But we were able to get invites to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, overall between the spawns, the PvP aspect, and
And
just
even
everything in general, I'd give it like a 9.5 or a 9.
yeah, I'm gonna go with 9.5 just because there was a little everything that I did want to do. Maybe the only like, it would have been a 10 if we had shiny Celesteela and shiny Cortana, or a way to get both of them at some point.
Or if they had better boxes.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is what it is, you know.
As soon as they make boxes the way they used to, we'll start giving out 10s, okay, Niantic?
Right? Oh my god, the controversy on boxes right now is just insane. Anyways, but yeah, it's been a good event. It was a good event. Everything once for everything. The only thing, and I think that's what's gonna actually make it a 9, is that once you see the boxes, it just like plummeted, you know. Because you only give you like 400 extra coins to pay for another raid pass, another remote raid pass. I'm like, bro, it's like you're killing me here, Niantic. You're killing me. So I was able to actually get some of the boxes before the event started. So I was just stocked up, ready to go, hatch as many eggs as I could. I could have hatched more, but unfortunately, the first few days, I was kind of stationary in a lot of my workplaces, so it was kind of hard to play in that regard. So, but nonetheless, good event. Yeah, we'll move on, I guess. We already talked about Community Day. Is there anything else that we forgot about last week? Nah, I guess it's probably just the news at this point.
What's going on right now, but we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, it's more like, we're about to get into the topics research of the week. A lot to cover, for sure. So I guess we could probably go to get into that. It's time to light up some candles. How about that,
Oh, brighten up the day.
Brighten up the day, light up the candles, make it a blue candle, and, make it in a Pokemon that we definitely need it for this point.
Yeah, we've been expecting this for a while. The October 2022 Community Day is one that we were predicting for like the past year, it feels like.
2.
We're finally getting Litwick. Oh my lord.
I know, right? Jeez. It's been a time of making for literally since Litwick was released 3-4 years ago at this point. It's just been a source of getting it to be the Community Day Pokemon for that. Especially for Halloween, but every time Halloween comes around, we're always like, oh yeah, you got some kind of ghost type Pokemon that is not Liquid or something. I'm like, what? Why Niantic?
One day.
Why Niantic? Of course, we want Liquid to be a good Pokemon for both PvP and raids. It's one of the two, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. So when is this happening? And this announcement actually happened literally a day after Community Day ended. So Community Day Litwick, October 2022, is happening on Saturday, October 15, from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. local time. Trainers, of course, we are happy to announce that Litwick will be his featured Community Day Pokemon. And if you're lucky, you might encounter a shiny one. Thank God.
What?
Will appear more frequently in the wild. And of course, you get the chance of actually catching a shiny. Good luck with that. How about that?
Yeah, one of the best evolved shinies in the game, period.
Yes, definitely one of the best. The feature attack, so evolve Liquid all the way to its final evolution during the event and up to 5 hours after the event to get the charge attack Poltergeist, which is a brand new attack that is being introduced into Pokemon Go. Surprisingly, that usually is for all the newer Pokemons, but now I guess it's getting that. What is Poltergeist power level? In trainer battles, it's going to be 140 power. And in gyms and raids, it's going to be another 140 power. So, based on that, I feel like it's Hyper Beam clone. Just by
Dude, a ghost Hyper Beam. That's actually insane.
Right. Papercut, welcome. But yeah, it's interesting to say the list. Now, I have seen a little bit of the leaks of what Poltergeist can do. Now, we don't know the full stats of it yet, We all know what it could be, but it again is close to a Hyper Beam clone in that regard. So he might actually become a pretty good raider for the meta. So if you can get your Hondos and be ready for them, ready for the evolutions at that point.
That's interesting, since we already have Shadow Ball. So I am curious how it's going to compare to Shadow Ball.
True. But it's more the versatile when it comes down to it, I guess. Community Day special research story is, of course, the Field Nose Trick of the Light. So I guess both Professor Willow and the other guy, I don't even remember his name at the point, kind of combined their...
I think.
Yeah, like something. They combined their, I guess their sayings, because one of them was saying Field Nose, the other one just actually says puns. Still not as great as the Great Ghastly, so you can't make that up. Of course, it's the $1 Community Day special research if you want to buy it, or equivalent to your local currency, of course. You could also send them if you're great friends with somebody. So that's Karsoon, man. Yeah, right. And then, of course, all those things. What are the event bonuses for this Community Day? You may ask. Well, I'm glad you asked. No, you didn't. 3 times catch Stardust, or I'm sorry, 3 times catch experience for catching Pokemons. It's 2 times chance of extra large candies for catching the Pokemon. Incense and lure modules last for 3 hours. It's an extra tray per day, which makes for 2 for the day. Extra candy for catching Pokemons. And then take a few snapshots, and trays are 50% less Stardust. So again, this whole shebang when it comes down to it. We do have our raids, 4-star raids happening after Community Day ends, and then join, of course, to be able to defeat Lambton, to be able to have more Litwick spawns to spawn out there, Then pretty much it. That's all. I mean, you can look for the Community Day map and some stickers. How about that? But yeah, just like we actually mentioned in the last podcast, and I'm not sure if we actually went a little bit into detail, is that Niantic has actually taken away the group play bonuses, where you actually get the extra bonus on like 4 times catching or 4 times Stardust or something like that. Since last Community Day, actually all those bonuses are removed from any of the Community Days so far. The last one, 2 months.
Really?
Yes. Which is kind of interesting why they would do that. I don't know why. Seriously.
I wonder what their reasoning is for that.
A lot of people are actually speculating that because it's more that we're going into the winter times and they want to make sure that people are safe. They don't want to group together. I don't know. There's a lot of things going on, especially since last season was all about group play and all about just go out there and play. It might just be a transition. And of course, the last few bonuses kind of help down on some of the things, especially if you're trying to be a grinder and all that stuff. So it is what it is, I guess. But are you really excited about this Community Day? And I hope you can get the day off.
Most likely not. What day is that on? Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday 15. Did I say Saturday?
Oh, it's Saturday. Okay. So, yeah, I should be able to play part of it, but legit, I get out at 5:30 usually. So
I mean, I can meet up with you.
Whatever
and do some
I get
raids.
at work is pretty much what I get at that point,
Yeah, I can meet up with you and do a couple of raids if you want to.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'll plan on it. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Calling sick? Yeah, that's basically the
Yeah, I'll take some time off.
Calling dead. Well, it is, I mean, we are technically, looking into the light of liquid, and our souls are going to get transferred in soul out, so. If you don't know the Pokédex for liquid, go and look it out. You'll be.
It's very fitting.
It's very fitting, yes. So again, Community Day, October is finally here. Finally, a Pokemon that we want after a while. So that being said, let's move on to what then next week is gonna entitle us. It's gonna be very fashionable, shall we? Starting the style with Marine, Tucker Specs, and newly custom Pokemons during the Fashion Week event 2022. He seems very enthusiastic. He can call work dead. He can still work dead. True.
I already do.
I know, right? So once again, we are getting custom Pokemons to appear everywhere, of course. And yeah, brand new Pokemons also it seems to be appearing in the wild. So Fashion Week starting on Tuesday, September 27 at 10 a.m. to Monday, October 3rd at 8 p.m. local time. Oh, God. Keep an eye sharp out for... Drowsy finally got here too.
For them drowsy, yeah.
I know, right? Keep a sharp out for other stylish Pokemon that are ready to trend in the wild through research tags and from eggs. So, the Pokemon Go debuts today, or once the event starts, actually. Mernie and Toxapex, the Brutal Star Pokemon, make its Pokemon Go debut. And finally, Mernie is going to actually require just 50 candies to evolve into Toxapex. Newly custom Pokemon will also be appearing during this event. Diglett wearing a fashionable costume. Doctrio wearing a fashionable costume. Absol wearing a fashionable costume. And Toxicroak wearing a fashionable costume.
We talk about how Dugtrio only has one hat on one of its heads.
Yeah, I know. Niantic, why? Why did you do this to us? Like, I don't get it. It's supposed to be 3 hats. It evolves into 3 hats, not that one, you know?
I do really like how Toxicroak's horn is going through the hat. Though,
yeah, I know, right? And then Absolute is just literally glasses. That's all there is, you know? Burham and see, they're still waiting to get signal on that. Bro, is everybody in the chat is just talking how he's going to call off dead or something? That's hilarious.
How am I going to play the calm day from under the ground?
I know, right? It says like Burham at sea, and then the way he still gets signals with his phone. Oh, that's hilarious. Time Research will, of course, award you with those Pokemon we just mentioned that's going to have the fashionable customs. You know, if you get a fashionable Absol, the shiny, you can Mega Evolve that too, but you lose the classes anyway, so it's not much differences. Encounters in Skull Snapshot, so you take your snapshots for a surprise appearance. And then while encounters, we do have Butterfree wearing the fashionable costume, which was a release from last year's Fashion Week. Murkrow, Meowth, Croconaw wearing a fashionable costume, Blizzle wearing a fashionable costume, Gatita, Furlish Female, Furfur, and Marie. And if you lucky, you might encounter the Diglett, Curlia, and Absol that wear a fashionable costume. And Furfur can now be shiny. So
Yay.
Little Doggo is gonna be a black fur when it comes shiny, right? I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, it's a very noticeable.
Yeah, very noticeable.
I already have a shiny Krogunk and Blitzel, and Butterfree actually. But I'm very curious if you'll be able to. I'm sure you will, but I'm very curious if you'll be able to evolve the Krogunk into Toxicroak with the costume.
I believe that's the case. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like 90% sure it should be, but that means I need to get another shiny so I can evolve it with the costume.
RIP Shiny Hunters, yes, that's true, because Furfur is actually one that needs like 10 different designs, so you can need at least 20 of them, because 10 of them has to be transferred to Pokemon Go, or to Pokemon Home, I guess. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So you're gonna need a lot of those if that's the regard. But yeah, I also understand about the Croc now. It just might be able to evolve anyway. So we also have our rates. I'm not gonna say fashionable custom, because if you don't know by this point, there's gonna be a lot of them. Diglett, Shinx, Croconaw, Shaggy, and Furfur is gonna be 1-star rates. Butterfree, Curlia, Absol, and Marie is gonna be in 3-star rates. Our 5-star rate boss is going to be Yveltal. I'm gonna be going hard for that one because I want the Master Mega or Master Pokemon for that.
Yeah, and it's shiny finally, thank goodness.
Yes, and then our Mega race will be Mega Lopunny for fashionable style Mega. It's like that's like that. Anyways, eggs. At least the 7K pool is going to have a little bit of a shakeup. Diglett wearing the fashionable costume. Sbushum, Shinx, and Croconaw also wearing their fashionable costumes. Nice little pool, but I kind of don't want to I don't want to kind of hash them, I don't know.
The only two I really want are Smoochum and Shinx.
Right?
Like, yes, I just talked about the Krogunk, but like, do you really want to hatch a bunch of Diglets with the small hat? Like, I don't know.
Oh, you mean Shinx?
Yeah, I know you don't. Never mind. You don't care about that hat when it comes to Shinx. That thing's just ugly.
A damn. Anyways, field research encounters will be Eevee, Morcross, Skitty, Glameow, Krogner, Blisslow with the fashionable, of course, and then Furfrou and Marie. So, and then of course we got our Abaton item. So we get new clothes and a hat, literally looking like James getting destroyed by the Marine. Anyway, so.
Oh my gosh, that hat is insane.
That's gonna be fun though. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, so that is Finish of the Week. How excited are you that we're getting more custom Pokemons again?
I'm personally a big fan about costume Pokemon. I know a lot of people aren't, but I mean, like, that's because 90% of the time the costume Pokemon changing is Pikachu.
Right.
I think this is a very good pull, especially the fact that we get a second chance at a lot that we had last year.
That's true. That's true. Good for trays? Yeah, it is good for trays. So whatever shinies you get, definitely people that want to get and everything. So keep an eye out for them. Keep catching them. I actually think I gotta restock in the next few days because I am low on Pokeballs. So I'm gonna have to do my restock soon. That Furfrou and then Absol with Hound. The only reason why I'm not as excited as the Absol for the Absol anymore is because I do have my Shando Lucky. So
yep.
Furfrou probably will be the only one that I really go forward, but any shiny will be nice anyway, so I'm okay.
The thing about Furfrou is all the different hairstyles too. So there's got to be somebody that's like, I need a shiny with every single hairstyle.
Of course, you can't get the other styles unless you go to other parts of the world, though. So.
Yup.
So you're gonna have to spend a lot of money for that one for sure. Yeah. And imagine if you're trying to actually just complete like the home decks or the shiny living decks in home or something like that, you're gonna need another 10 anyways. So I hope it's not shiny licked.
Oh no! It's shiny available.
It will shiny available once the event starts, so don't worry about it. Also, you may spell locked, but call it out my chat. How about that? Anyway,
I know what I said.
But yeah, Safari's road trip. Yeah, I can't make it to half of those anyway. Anyways, Safari Zone Taipei is tickets are available if you want to go buy them. Of course, people are kind of skeptical when it comes to actually going to the Safari Zone. And of course, Safari Zone Go Pay is happening in right now. Actually, this weekend, we do have our special research and Shiny Spritzy. It's out for the first time, so. Go ahead and walk 5 kilometers to get at least 6 encounters because you ain't gonna see another Spritzy for probably another 4 months anyways.
Yeah, I don't know why they did it like that.
Yeah, so make sure you walk if you want to actually get to the bend. F Spritzy after today. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, so definitely, do your research. At least try to get it. I know at least one person in our community Discord already got it, and she is a beast. For some reason, just gets it every time something happens. Who do you think?
Is it Shiny Shay?
Yeah.
Every time.
Every time. It doesn't matter what it is. That girl it's like a shiny magnet half the time. I don't understand, man.
Oh yeah.
Like
she's always like disappointed by them. She's like, yeah, she likes the new ones.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh.
Screw that, I'll drive. Yeah, I know, right? Hey, I'll meet you halfway. How about that? And then you can drive the rest of the way. Be a passenger. True. Anyways, but yeah, so that's technically all the news that we have. We got. Yeah, she got it. Yeah, she did. It's all everything that we covered. At least it's everything that we have. Doesn't seem to be much more information. There's a few things in the Pokeminers, and the apps are starting to update more and more. Quick tip, actually, if somebody doesn't know, if you go into your advanced settings and go to, actually, let me turn that off. Advanced settings into the game, you can actually download all the assets of Pokemon Go into your phone. So if you have space in your phone, you definitely want to do this because it actually makes it into a better experience. For the reason for that is like, let's say, when you click on a Pokemon, the assets have to actually come from the network or the server of Pokemon Go and everything. But if you download the assets, it actually makes it that the game responds a lot faster that way. I really recommend that if you have the space. So just keep an eye for those. You can pause it at any point. If not, then of course just wait for get a better phone, I guess. So, Chris, did you know about that?
I'm downloading it right now.
Okay, it's gonna take a few minutes
The
though.
only Yeah, because like imagine like before when I was telling you when I got the Iron Articuno, I knew it was gonna be one of the new Pokemon because it was the glowing ball.
Right?
But like imagine if I was just second or two later or something and it despawned because it was a glowing ball.
Yeah.
Dude, I would have been furious. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm definitely downloading it right
Yeah,
now.
definitely. So there's a couple of things in the Pokemoners, but I don't think we should get into it until we get a little more information into what is going on with everything.
Yeah,
Just a
yeah.
few things that
Look at your own leisure.
yes,
Yeah, at your own warning, I suppose.
yeah, just spoiler warning if you don't want to do it. But because we are trying to get more news and things, then of course that's how it is usually. Pokemon Go GBL though is we got a little broken these days, but we'll talk about that in just a moment. So yeah, PvP, get good, get wrecked. Here we go, Chris. GBL has finally got into its Ultra League, which we actually had with the Weather Cup, but we're now moved from the Weather Cup into Ultra League and Ultra League Premier. And sad to say, I actually haven't done a couple battles in the last few days. I kind of been slacking on my Ultra teams, and just because I don't know, I just don't feel like I have a good Ultra team.
I like Ultra League. I usually run extra large Talonflame, Walrein, and Giratina.
Yeah, but Wolverine
I've
has been
seen a
nerfed.
lot of people run. What?
Wolverine has been nerfed.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. I will say I haven't really been doing my battles, so I guess I haven't noticed. So I probably will actually switch out Walrein for like something like Swampert maybe.
Yeah, if you're going for the Ultra Premier, of course, you cannot use any legendaries. The
Yeah.
bannings are interesting because they left some Ultra Beasts to be able to be playable in the Premier.
Really?
Yeah, and they also left one of the Tapus in there. So I'm like, Niantic, is something wrong with you? Is Niantic cat like not trying to make it better or something?
Like I understand wanting the meta to be more open, instead
Yeah,
of using like the same Pokemon.
right.
But that is an interesting choice.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, Niantic be Niantic. That's all there is to it. But everybody's
Yup.
doing their push on to Legends anyways. Look at how Microsoft, well, yeah, of course. Their Legends push is coming along pretty nicely. I just want to get to rank 20. I'm probably going to start doing it once Master League comes around, though.
Yes, sir. Yeah, kick that booty.
Yeah. So after that, of course, we'll talk about factions because it has been 2 weeks now. By the time of this recording, we're about to end week 3, but let's talk about week 2. And I think we have some pretty good games scheduled out. So, Chris, I'll let you go first.
All right. So we battled. I gotta check.
Yeah, I should have probably put that in the notes.
Oh, you're good. We battled Sylph League SA, San Antonio, the second week, and we had very fierce competitors. We were definitely a bit intimidated, I'll be honest,
Yes.
going into this. But yeah, team did amazing. For me personally, I was able to go 2-1. What was very interesting about this team is it was way different than the first one I battled, and I did switch up my team too. I think that helped me a lot. Between Lantern, Frostlass, and Macargo,
Right.
there was one Pokemon I changed that just definitely gave me a good leg over that, and that was Wishcash on my squad.
Right.
And very happy with that change because the only thing he had that could scare me was Venusaur, but between Ninetales, Beedrill, Guntank, that it was very tricky for him to actually get some use out of that Venusaur. So I I was very good at, calling leads, calling the team in the back. Um, and I was able to win the first game. The second game, I think I led something stupid. It was like it was something weird, like Nine Tails into Lantern or
Oh
something
Lord.
weird like that. Yeah, or no, I think it was Beedrill into Macargo,
Oh God.
and I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, let's not do that. So that battle, I almost had some play, but like I ended up, predicting something wrong. I think I predicted what was in the background.
Right.
And then the third match I was able to win, but yeah, it didn't really matter because the rest of the team was OP. I'm very excited to hear about your battles.
Yes.
But yeah, the whole team overall has been doing great. I'm very happy.
I am happy about that too. After my crushing defeats in last week, definitely, or during the first week, I definitely learned from my mistakes, but I didn't learn enough. So we'll see how it goes. I did go 2-1 for this week, so for week 2. So I'm actually kind of happy that I was able to come on top after the first week and not get discouraged when it comes down to battles. However, though, I went in a little too. I did switch my team since last time. But I was actually a little bit not careful with my team selection and put too many weaknesses to Electric. Between Mega Blastoise that I switched out from a Mega Charizard X and then Gyarados and Togekiss, when I saw my opponent's team, I was sweating bullets because my man had Sekrom and I was about not having it when 3 of my Pokemon literally get destroyed by Electric-type Pokemon.
The first thing you said was, why did I not switch Gyarados off
I
my
know,
team?
right? I know. I was so stupid of me. But of course, you learn from your mistakes and you had to make the best out of it. However, though, I went in with a mentality that said, okay, I have to do something to make sure that he doesn't expect what I'm going to be doing. So thanks to Chris, I was able to, plan out a few things, and we did talk about it just to make sure that I was able to surprise my opponent with the battles I did. Now, of course, I'm not sure if my opponent was actually, knowledgeable enough about Mega Blastoise, but the only way that I could actually do something against this team is that I put Blastoise in the front, kept Mewtwo and Togekiss in the back, so I can go ahead and see what's the best course of action when it comes down to it. So first game, I believe he led Mewtwo, and I led with Mega Blastoise. That might be wrong, but I can't remember right now exactly what he led at the time. However, I was able to farm him down quickly to whatever it was, and then he switched over to a Pokemon that I think Snorlax was one in most of his teams actually, and through the battles. So Snorlax was there. I took on Mewtwo. Psych Strike does very powerful damage to it. I was happy about those. And then I don't think I did see Sekrom in the first battle, so I was actually kind of happy about that.
What? That's so weird.
It is weird. Then after that, on game 2, he does leave Sekrom, thinking that of course I'll lead Blastoise or another water type or electric type Pokemon, and I go with I believe Mewtwo at the time to be able to actually go about it. And I know that how fast he charges up to both his charge moves, so I was able to boil him down enough to get my Togekiss in there. Farm him down, and then his Snorlax and everything else usually will die. So I was able to get the 2-0 at the beginning. Game 3, I did misplay a little bit. I could have let go in some of the battles in there, but it is what it is. So I got the 2-1. I was happy about that. So my very first win in my fractions ever. So I'm actually happy, really happy that it happened. After that, I learned from a mistake.
Of many to come.
Definitely. I learned from a mistake, and we actually are already in week 3. About to end by tomorrow after the recording of this podcast. And it's been going out pretty well for the team, definitely. We've had some interesting battles. I know Chris is actually scheduled to finalize his battles tonight, right after the podcast.
Yeah, the last person to battle.
Right, and then everybody else. Now, of course, this week, the only thing that we actually had to worry, that after the update of Pokemon Go, we had some major issues into the PvP, like some charge moves or fast moves were not actually registering pretty quickly. So we had to be careful and make sure that we dispute anything if that happens. However, I think that most of our teams actually didn't face that when doing regular PvP battles. So we're kind of happy that wasn't the case. But yeah, so this time around, once again, changing my team a little bit. Let me go ahead and open up my roster here. I did switch out, of course, Gyarados, but this time I replaced it for a Dragonite, and I did replace my Melmetals because I felt like Melmetal just wasn't actually doing it for me these days. And then switch it over for Giratina Origin Form, which it is my Shando level 50. Ready to go.
Yes!
Truth be told, my Dragonite is also a level 50 Shando, so I needed to flex on that one. Powerful team, of course. The Giratina is mostly for the Ghost type abilities of it, and Dragonite. I made the decision and right before the battles to actually switch over my Dragonite community. They moved to Superpower, and that was probably the decision that won me what happened in this last few matches. So this one I can actually picture a little bit better. I going into the battles, he had Mega Charizard X, Lugia, Melmetal, Garchomp, Togekiss, and Gyarados, while I have my Metagross, Mewtwo, Mega Blastoise, Dragonite, Giratina Origin Form, and Togekiss. So I felt pretty confident that it was good to. I was actually in a good matchup. Now I didn't realize this, but of course I never actually battled against a Mega Charizard X until today. Mega Charizard X only has 2 weaknesses, and that's Rock and Ground. So even if you hit them with a Water type move, you don't do damage because of the Dragon typing. Well, you do damage, but
Dragon.
Well, yeah, but you don't do as much damage as you want to, and when it comes down to it. So
yeah, that's true.
My team wasn't handled to do that. I thought Blastoise was just gonna be enough against Charizard X, but I forgot that, of course, that weakness gets neutralized by the Dragon type. So I had to be careful at one point. However, though, first game went as intended. I believe he led out with his Togekiss, which I was actually surprised. And I went Mega Blastoise because I did have success last time. Then he switches over, I believe, to Charizard X. I was like, okay, that's kind of weird, but a couple Hydro Cannons kind of took him down quickly. But Dragon Breath's Charizard X actually is very powerful, so you got to be really careful with that. It does farm down pretty quickly if you don't know what you're doing. And then after that, I believe it was Garchomp in the back, which I was able to quickly take care of with my Togekiss and Mewtwo. So Mewtwo actually took the win for Game 1. Game 2, more than a misplay, I think it was more like I just didn't read him correctly. But I did read him that he was going to go Lugia, because I knew Lugia was going to be a very prominent problem to my to my battles. So I let Giratina Origin Form at the time, and then Mega Blastoise and Mewtwo in the back. So I was like, okay, this might actually do something about it. Dragon Tail Lugia is still powerful enough to destroy my Giratina, and he, unfortunately, he did actually call out some of my bait, so I wasn't able to do too much against that in the end of the day. Summertime Lovin', welcome, how you doing? Konnichiwa. I don't have the sound alerts out there, so I apologize for that. But yeah, so he let out Lugia, took out my Giratina. I went to either Togekiss, I believe, or Blastoise to farm down a little bit. And then he had Melmetal and Mega Charizard X. So he did take that win, and I was like, okay, that's too bad. And I believe the last one, he actually did do the same thing. So he let out Lugia, Melmetal, and Mega Charizard X. Lugia against my Mewtwo, Mega Blastoise, and Dragonite. Actually, this time around, I switched it up a little bit. I was like, okay, let me see. My safest bet is probably Mewtwo. So I went ahead and did what I could there. He didn't chill a lot of the Shadow Balls, which I was actually surprised. But I was able to take out Lugia after 2 Shadow Balls, maybe 3 Shadow Balls technically. And then he goes into Melmetal, destroying, of course, my Mewtwo. And I go Dragonite. Dragonite with Superpower. Now, of course, he had a shield at the time. At least one of the shields. And I was like, okay, well, Dragonite could at least, do some damage. The first Superpower got blocked. The second one didn't. I was, put him in the deficit. But I had to shield one of his Rock Slides so I can at least have Dragonite do a little bit extra damage. So it came down to this. I had Mega Blastoise with at least 90% health. I had my Mewtwo, who was actually at probably only 5% health, against his Mega Charizard X that had almost full health. I believe he had a little bit out. And his Melmetal, which was the problem at the time. Melmetal was, of course, almost dead, but he still could take tank down and probably Thunderbolt me or do whatever the case may be. So I had switch advantage because my switch timer was actually cooled down by the time I put in my Mega Blastoise into play with no shields. He switches into Charizard, throws in the first Dragon Claw, and I'm like, okay, well, I thought it was going to be a Blastburn, but surprisingly it wasn't. And then I overfarm to try to get to a 2 Hydro Cannons at the time. And just at the nick of time it perfectly, I catch the Dragon Claw into my Mewtwo switch. He throws in the charge, go back into Blastoise, farm down just a little bit more, throw in the first Hydro Cannon with no shields, destroys the Mega Charizard X, and then able to get to the second Hydro Cannon before he gets to his next charge attack. And that was what win.
Big plays.
Bro, I was literally shaking when I did that play.
And you got that on stream too,
yes,
right?
I have a clip of it. If you guys want to see it, I'll actually post it on my Twitter eventually. Once the battles are over, actually. But yes, I did actually. Like, that switch was like, oh my god, I was like trembling after that because he was not expecting that. I think once he actually messaged me at the end and he was like, bro, I was not expecting that epic switch at the end. I didn't know if I could get there. I didn't really count it down his fast moves at the time, but I knew that he was actually charging up to the Dragon Claw to try to take down most health of my Blastoise. And there it is, actually. Thank you. If you guys want to see it. But yeah, I was just like shaking after that switch because everybody in the chat, I had like most of my team, most of the team watching, and a couple of the people speculating there. And it was actually like my heart was pumping probably for another 10 minutes after that, just because that switch was the one deficit one. But yeah, so I did get my wins for week 3. We're actually on pace to win this week too. Chris, you just gotta take it home. With some good wins at the end.
They already have, like, we already won this week.
Yeah.
So I literally have no sweat.
Yeah, so it's more like, just get us some points, brother. That's all it is to it.
Yeah. Every point matters, right?
Definitely. But yeah, it was actually like, I was happy that my plays did what it could, and it helps out a lot. So we're winning the next one. Next week, though, that's going to be a little spicy because we're going against Team BTW. And if you guys don't know, BTW actually has his podcast out there too. So shout out to them. I did meet them at Go Fest. Now we didn't talk to them as much, but we did actually see each other at the time. But you know, BTW is we're gonna be ready for those, that's for sure. That's gonna be our hardest week for sure.
Gotta be on the A game, yeah.
Oh yeah. With that being said, of course, that is all when it comes to the PvP. Good matches all around. Chris, I do give you some good luck for tonight, so I expect a swept team battle.
Oh no. Oh no.
Podcast showdown, yeah, that's gonna be fun. But yeah, so I was happy. I was happy enough when it comes down to it. So I'm happy what it was, and I'm happy that I'm able to actually contribute to the team in the last 2 weeks. I believe that's how it goes. Loser deletes their podcast. Heck no. I gotta talk to them first before we even get to that bit. Anyways, but that's it. That's all we got for this week, guys. So I appreciate it very much. We do have our topic question of the week. So this time will be, what fashionable Pokemon will you be hunting for this week's Fashion Week? Ugh. Interesting, right? I definitely think if I actually get lucky enough and get another Shando Absol, that'd be great. But
Oh my.
Chris is like,
it's
no.
It's gonna be a PvPIV shiny costume.
Bro, if you get the Shando Absol with the glasses and I got the lucky one, then we're betting. But yeah, so I'm okay with getting Absol. I wouldn't mind, of course, the Diglett, but you know, after that, I'm just okay, just doing what I can for this week. What about you?
I think the number one shiny that I want to get is probably Furfrou.
Furfrou? Yeah.
Which is interesting. Like I think that's mostly due to the fact I think Kurogunk would have been higher up there, but I did get him last time. So really the only reason to get another one is to try and get that shiny Toxicroak with the hat coming through. Diglett, I'm not that excited for, I'll be real.
Yeah, well, new shiny, new Douglet. So, not too bad when it comes down to it. But yeah, I understand. Okay, you might as well just get that PvP, shiny Toxicroak.
Yes, sir.
With the hat, that'd be like, okay, I'm gonna poke you to death, I guess. Anyhow, with that being said, anything else to cover, Chris?
Nothing I can think about. Hope Antic gives us some better boxes. That's all I'll mention really quick. But
Yeah, well, we can definitely talk about that eventually.
The last one wasn't horrible. I'll be real.
We'll see how it goes. Though by tomorrow, we'll definitely know more about what we're actually going to get for the boxes. Also, if you're living in Florida, make sure that you are staying safe. We are in the midst of Hurricane Ian, I believe, is around the corner. So stay safe, guys, for this week. Even if you can play Pokemon or not, just stay safe out there for all my Floridians out there. We'll definitely keep you guys updated if anything changes for that regard. But once again, thank you. I'm sorry?
Last I heard, it was starting to move west more, but, you can never be too safe, so definitely be prepared.
Well, at the time of this recording, I actually saw that it was going to go to Tampa as a Cat 4.
Yo, sounds good. Can't wait for the rain, the rainy weather in game.
Yeah, so we got to be really careful anyways. With that being said, thank you so much for listening, everybody, to the podcast and coming through the podcast stream. Don't forget to check us out in our socials, of course, at Purified Podcast, Pure Let It Go, and Pokemon Trigger, please, PKMN with the PSPLS at the end. Podcast services, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, any other places. Thank you so much for always listening to us. Join our Discord. We have it open for anybody who wants to join us and have some fun in there if you want to. Email us anything to the purifiedpodcast@gmail.com if you want, of course, to tell us about your day or not, or how your Pokemon Go adventure goes. And yeah, don't forget to check us out at thepurifiedpodcast.com, the Professor Network. With that being said, Chris, how about you take us away for the night?
All right. While the year is starting to come closer and closer to the end, we hope that you guys have been having a great 2022. It's been a great year of Pokemon. And stay safe out there, get your Pokemon, and we'll see you guys next week. Probably in less time than the time you had to wait for this week.
Yeah, definitely. And also make sure that you go on Twitter and congratulate Chris for his engagement. Keep purifying them, and we'll see you guys next time.